I can see a lot of you are in the agenda, so that's good. There's a lot of links in it this month because I have things for us to look at. I wanted to get everyone's feedback before we kind of move forward, but Tanya, I think today you'll have your information on what we would want you to order as far as the the prizes. So sorry everybody, I got really sick towards the beginning of January, and then my husband caught it. It wasn't COVID, just a regular old bronchial infection. So it sort of delayed the plans we had for the scavenger hunt, but we're on track now. I've got everything pulled together, feeling much better. So first, just a quick look at our metrics for January. I put a link to the metrics. As expected, January's metrics are down from December, and that's completely normal because December is always an extremely exciting time where it's very easy to generate a lot of engagement with these very nostalgic or very beautiful Christmas photos of downtown and historic places. In December, we focused a lot on Christmassy things happening in Raleigh. In particular, I did like the Oakwood candlelight tour, and I took photos and I put that up on Facebook. And so for January, we focused on Freedmen's Villages, which we had been talking about for a while. So actually, Gaston was kind enough to send me a really great historic document written in like the 80s that had all kinds of information on the Freedmen's Villages. So we were able to do that as our January theme. Really interesting stuff. Pretty much discovered what happened to the other 11 Freedmen's Villages that you don't really hear about anymore. You always hear about Oberlin and Method, but there were 11 others. And actually in my research, I found out, and maybe you guys already knew this, I didn't know. There's actually a marker, a sidewalk marker. I didn't even really know the city had these either, but these like sidewalk carvings on historic locations. There's one by the old fairgrounds where the original fairgrounds was. And there's one where Idlewild used to be, which was one of the Freedmen's Villages. And then also some of the Freedmen's Villages, their names turned into street names, right? So some of our street names are actually named after these Freedmen's Villages that were in the area. So they're not, they're historically they're gone, but there are remnants of them. You just wouldn't know unless you knew the names. So we did a lot of that kind of stuff on social media, talking about like where they were, where they stood, looking at old maps. So anyway, our social media, nope, that is not correct. We did not break 15,000 followers. We broke 1,500 followers. Gosh. So we have broken 1,500 followers, which is great. I know when I started with our social media, which is as far back as I can go as far as knowing our numbers, we had around 500. So we've grown. We've gained over 1,000 followers over the probably year and a half. So I'd like to get us to 2,000 by the end of this year. I think that's pretty doable. And I think the thing we're planning now for March with the scavenger hunt will actually help us towards that goal. Insights, nothing thrilling this month. A reach of 7,800, engagement 1,200. We got 20 new followers. Really basic standard stuff. It's not as exciting as the holidays. October, November, and December are always the times where it's really easy to get followers. And then in January and February, March, you tend to hit a slog. And then you can grow up again in like the summertime when activities start. So those numbers are down, but I'm not concerned by that, if that makes sense. Our most popular posts, people really liked the information we had about Idlewild and the sidewalk markers. Do you know what I'm talking about with the sidewalk? Tanya, do you?
I haven't seen them.
Do you mean those pillars?
No, this is engraved on the sidewalk.
I have never seen one.
I have
all over the
no.
like special historic spots are marked with sidewalk engravings. I've seen 2 of them now. That might be fun to do something with then, because I don't think most people realize they're there. But if we can go find them and take pictures and encourage people to go look for them, I mean, I think that could be something fun. Maybe when it gets warmer out, we can encourage that kind of thing.
Do you
Maybe,
have any idea how many there are?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I'm sure, I would imagine at least 50. I mean, maybe.
So where did you, so tell me again, you read about them in that report?
No, so I knew they existed. There's one at the first location of the fairgrounds. So if you go to, it's where the DMV is now on New Bern Avenue. If you go there, there's a sidewalk engraving. Like you're walking on the sidewalk by New Bern Avenue, cars are whizzing by you, and then you'll see one little like segment of sidewalk has carved history about what used to stand there. It says like old fairgrounds from blah 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 to blah blah blah. This was the original site of the fairgrounds, and it has like a whole story. And then I found the one Idlewild this research.
It's part of the New Bern and Edenton History Marker tour.
It's a great idea.
Do you know what they are? Do you know what they're called?
It's the New Bern Avenue and Edenton Street History Marker tour.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me do it. I'm gonna write that down. I mean, I think when it gets warmer, that might be a fun thing to encourage people to go do. Anyway, I'll look into that later. That doesn't have to be done now. I just thank you for telling me what it is so I can look into that. But anyway, so that one did well. And then people were interested in what happens to the freedmen's villages. That was our other popular post, number 2, not number 3. And then a little bit on the Oakwood area as well. So social media, solid this month, not stellar, just solid. But the main focus is on the scavenger hunt. So I found a vendor. I found this vendor through research, but I've also been told by my friend Amber, who runs Activate Good. I asked her what she just did verification that it's a good vendor, and she said she has used them before and that they were a quick turnaround.
And I can verify that they are not the ones that gave us, that were so horrible last time. So that's good.
That's good. And I have some links here, and you guys are welcome to click them. I looked at the pricing options, and it's kind of just on you guys what you think you would like for us to give away. I looked at these specific things. So I looked at masks. I thought that might be cool, but they were pretty pricey, like $700 for 200 of them. And I thought that might be a little outside our budget, but if you want to consider masks, we can put them back in the pile.
Do you want us to like share and click through them together, or?
I think we could.
Okay. Erin, you've got the ball.
I have some pretty serious lag on my end. Could I make you the presenter? It's loading. Oh, well, I've got the first one up now. Can you guys see that?
No.
Not yet. There it goes.
You got it.
Okay. It's going to be that long in between them. Okay, so this was the first link in Heather's document. So
Yeah,
this is the higher quality.
one of the higher quality ones. Yeah. It's the gel rollerball pen, and there's multiple colors. So we could pick like blue, green, orange. We could have like a lot of variety there if we wanted to. And for 200 of them, I just used that as like our standard number. We'd have to decide how we need, but for 200, it would be $362. So they're a little bit on the pricier end for a pen. But again, we just want to discuss how nice it be versus, cost effective. So I wanted to put the option there. Now this next one is the cheapest option.
That one doesn't want to open on its own. You see that? All right.
Yes. Yes. Okay. That should be the one that let me click on that and make sure that went to the right location. No, okay, that's the wrong. I put the wrong link there. Let me grab the correct one. That was one I had been looking, but I ended up not choosing to put that in there. Hold on, there's a cheaper one.
Okay.
Let me find it real quick. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I'm having trouble finding just pins now. Here we are under writing. Okay.
I'm having trouble finding WebEx.
Oh, we can still see you if it helps. That's nice. That's a Vienna metal pen. I thought those were very nice. Let me just find the quick plastic pens. Here we are. Okay, so these plastic pens are like the inexpensive ones. Let me send this link. So I'm going to replace that link there.
Do you want me to take over, Erin?
I would, but I am not sure how to get back to the screen to push it to you. Can you take it from me?
I think I can just take it since I'm the host, so.
You go ahead.
Let me. All right.
Okay, I'm back.
Yep. Now let me share.
All right. So if you click on the Javelin pen, that's the one that we wanted to look at next.
Javelin pen.
Yep, it's just a regular pen.
Oh, there, I see it.
Yeah. And these, I didn't go by the 200. I went by 500. So the other ones for 200, about $100 something. But for these, for 500 pens, it's $160. So these are definitely the most cost-effective option. And again,
Oh, shoot. Hold on. Sorry. Let me do this again. There we go.
perfect. There it is. So, and for these, there are multiple colors. So we're not stuck on that blue. We could pick 26 different. This is our most cost effective. So if we're looking for the cheapest and quickest thing to do, it's going to be this. Like I said, we can get 5 of them for $160. I mean, we'd be set. For $160, we would have more than enough.
How many imprint areas does that pen have?
The middle area.
Click the view imprint thumbnail. 1. Okay.
Yeah, we would just pretty much put our there. But that is a good point, Travis. You know, some put more stuff on it.
Sorry, you would put, sorry, you broke up. You would put what there?
Just probably our logo, RHDC, and maybe our website if we could fit it, or maybe our Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, we do need to talk about the website. We don't want to be putting that anywhere until it's not dying a quick and painful death.
Yeah, maybe our Facebook page, or our Raleigh historic tours. We would want to talk about that. We'll put that on here to talk about what on Slack. Okay, but for now, let's look at the pins, and then we'll decide kind of what we would want to put on them. And then the next one is the sleek metal pins. I really like these. They're super cool looking. But again, the price point goes back up to, for 200, it'd be $318. But again, it depends on how many we want, right? These are so cool looking though. And is it just the one area there to print onto?
That's what it seems to be.
All right, I'm looking at my phone, so I can't see it as well. Okay, but it's a little bit more space, so we could maybe put a little more on it.
Yes.
And then we have, so then after that, I saw some other pretty cost-effective things that we might want to consider instead. One is a metal keychain flashlight. And I was, you know, we've talked about pens, and we definitely can go with pens, but I just wanted to throw some other things up there that I saw. A keychain is something people might even be more likely to keep on them. And this one's a flashlight. I know I have one of these and I actually do use it. So, you know, that's a possibility. They're a little more pricey. For 200 of them, it would be $441. So we would just have to decide if it's worth it. And then the final area is the tape measures. And now I don't know if we still have all our tape measures, then we could just use those from before. Do we have any of our tape measures left, or are we?
Colette, I think, whoa, oh yeah, I think we've got tons left, don't we, Colette?
I don't remember the exact number, but it's definitely more than 150.
That would, well, are we able to access them?
Yeah.
Well, then
They're in a box in a closet in the office.
Well, then,
along with,
probably need to look at this. I think we should probably grab those and use those as well. Because those are really cool. Like, I definitely took one and used it, and I've been using it as my tape measure. So
yeah, so we've got tape measures, we've got the sticky notes.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? Was it just those two? I thought there were 3 things. Or did we never get the pencils?
We never received the pencils.
Okay. So
Oh,
it's just the 2 things.
Those pencils sounded so cool too. But yeah, so this is, then I would say we don't need to worry about the tape measure. If that's the case, then it might be just as well to go, this is my thought, please share your thoughts. But it might be just as well to go with the cheaper pens and then also use what we already have. What do you guys think, looking at everything?
So just the original idea behind the pens was because of COVID, anyone signing a receipt at one of these shops, they got to keep the pen anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So we're saving the business money, making them more likely to hopefully participate. And secondly, they got to get rid of the pen anyways. I think the ones you've got chosen are great. The only thing I'd be trying to wrap my head around is what we put on the pen. Because if we're going to do this, obviously we want someone to be able to pick up the pen and know who we are. And if we just put RHTC, we know what that acronym means, but I don't think a lot of other people are going to know what it means or what the logo is. Putting the website, I think, is definitely something we should be considering, even though what we have now is not what we hope to have. It's still a place they can go to learn more. I just don't know if we try to put Raleigh Historic Development Commission or whatever on there, if it's going to fit.
That is a good point. This is why a good website is usually the start of any marketing strategy, which we
Is our website address going to change? So we could use the address, right? I mean, it'll get better. It won't go poof and.
Well, if it does get migrated to the city's website, it would change. Is that right?
We can still have a redirect.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that we would just set up a redirect. I think the website is still ideal because people will hopefully go to it. And the other thing is it's not just the pin. So this is worth thinking about. They're getting the pin and there's going to be a little piece of paper, like a little document that explains the history of the location they were just at. So on that little, printout that we give, like the little card or whatever, that we could also put some RHDC stuff on that. Like, you are at the Royal Baking Company. This historic building was blah, blah, blah. And then at the bottom, who we are. Raleigh Historic Development Commission strives to preserve Raleigh history, blah, 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 right? So we can definitely, the pin should have like our logo, our website, whatever we can to make sure that we're benefiting from this. But we're also going to have that little document. And so we'll have an opportunity there to help explain who we are. The other thing is this is a social media thing as well. So we're also going to be benefiting from the local businesses sharing about what RHDC is doing with the project. So ideally, aside from the tangible things, we're going to have the social media buzz going on as well.
I don't have any strong feelings. I would tend to go with the cheap ones just because these pens tend to be disposable by the users. And I mean, highly disposable. I don't expect much from them. Every once in a while, I'll get a good pen, like, I don't know, from one of my doctors gives me good pens, but most of them are pretty disposable. So I think we wouldn't be accused of bad things if we're frugal.
I think the cheaper pens too, and I agree with Travis. I mean, they're going to be needing a pen. This is going to be easier to give out because it's going to have a point of use right at that point, and could be used again or tossed. And I think that's the way to go.
Yeah. And plus we will have, I mean, do you guys agree we should also hand out the like a little baggie with the other swag that we have, the tape measure, and then like that's where the little document could go that explains the history.
The thing I would ask is that going to be, wonder how the person at the restaurant's the one who's going to be given in at the site. We just wouldn't want to make it more difficult for them, so they leave them to the side, don't give them out or whatever. I don't really know because I can't kind of visualize how much space the box of those would take at the point where they're doing it. I mean, I'm just thinking about the ease of the dispenser, but y'all would know more about that just based on what it would be like.
It's worth thinking about. And the other thing we want to think about is how many each location gets. Because if we're aiming for 5 locations and we have, say, 200 pens or 200 items, that's not that many before they run out. They might run out in like a day or two. So, it's worth considering too, if we're trying to make this go on all week, like for a full week period, then do we need to order a little more? In which case the pens being super cheap will help a lot. So what do you guys think? This is how I envisioned it. as for ease. Part of the point of this isn't just to give out pins at each location, though that's the easy part. Part of it is to incorporate that people who visit the location get to learn about why this building is important. So that's why I had envisioned that we would maybe create just like almost like business card sized historic explanations for each spot. So like we'd have 5 different cards, right? Maybe we could even make them like little like baseball cards almost, right? Like little collectibles, right? And like have a picture of the location and then a little description beneath it, like this is why this place is historic. And then on the back, it could be like, who is RHDC, right? So I do think we're gonna want to create those. Those should be pretty simple to just print at like Kinko's. I don't think we need to worry about, or I could find a local printer, but I don't think that's going to be the difficult thing. Does anybody here? I do, but I'm just curious if anybody else does any experience with like Photoshop and layout. I'm wondering if anybody has any more experience than me, or if it should be me.
I do, but I think the city's also got their graphic design team. Can we utilize them, Tanya?
We can.
Ooh,
Well, it'll get green triized. So we will have, it will have to be the city colors. And if we're lucky, they'll put the RHDC logo on it too.
yes.
But I don't think we would get the turnaround.
It also would not be a very quick.
It would not be a quick thing.
Gotcha. Okay, then I would suggest that maybe one of us does it. I mean, I think at least 2 of us have the capacity to create something like that. Travis, how would you be able to take on maybe like 2 of them?
The tricky part for me is using the software because it belongs to my employer.
Oh, gotcha. Is it Photoshop that's your software?
The Creative Cloud, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Could you use something like Canva, which is more simple?
Yeah, that I could do.
The only reason I ask is I know how to do layout and design, but it's not my specialty.
It's far from mine either.
Gotcha.
So,
I'm concerned about, I'm sure I can make one that looks decent and will be fine. But if you had more skill than me, then, I'd rather lean on your higher level of skill.
If you make the best or the base template, I can fill out the rest of the cards because we'd want them to look the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we do it in Canva, it's just a matter of sharing the template between our Canva account and cranking it out.
Then that's what I'll do. I will do that. Hold on, let me get it in our thing here. So I'm going to put in here, Heather helps create template for like history cards. And then I'll see what I can do. And again, Travis, if you look at it and it like sucks, please just tell me it sucks. And if you can do better, please do better.
I guarantee I can't do better, but I will give all the help I can.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I do love the idea of like a baseball card collectible style building card. That's kind of cool. Would we be pulling the descriptions for the historic information from the website? Just thinking that if we're going to the trouble of making the template, if we can fit a good picture on the front and the info on the flip side, that would probably be the best way to lay it out. But if we pull, our paragraphs worth of information off the website and put it on a baseball card size,
we're gonna have to cut.
Yeah.
Let me. Oh, I don't have it here with me. I created something like this for my historic tours, where we had I had a picture of like St. Agnes, and then it was a magnet. Oh, and they were really popular. There's a picture of St. Agnes on a magnet, and then it said like St. Agnes, and I had like a little quote about St. Agnes from a local historian, not a historian, a professor of St. Augustine, Linda Dallas, and then that was the front, and then it was a magnet, so it didn't have a back. But I kind of could see something like that being interesting to people, and then the back would have the history. I do think making it a collectible card and having a template would mean that later on we could even do more of this and have these collectible baseball style, collect your Raleigh history cards. And I mean, I'm a nerd. I would want them.
Yeah, I mean, I know people will show up for the free pen, but I think that this sort of thing will be a draw. So.
Yeah, I think so too. It'll be a good push for the locations to join us and help us, because they will have this collectible baseball card about their location too. I think
you're right. And I think you're right about, we could do them anytime we wanted to. I mean, it could be the beginning of a collection.
That's right. That's right. And 50 years from now, people will wish they had collected the RHDC history cards for Raleigh. I mean, people do really like photos of historic buildings in Raleigh. I've definitely, people have already asked to buy photos that we've put on our social media. They're like, could you make a calendar? Could you make a, card? So there is interest in that. So I think that will draw people. Okay, well, let's do that then. Let's do that and the pens. And then for as long as it lasts, we can use the little tape measures as well. And I think that's a fun giveaway. And it lets us start really small. As far as making the cards, yeah, I think I'll just pull the description and then cut it down from our own website. I think that's the safest way to go. And if our website has a picture, then I'll use those. If not, I'll go take a photo. And because we definitely want it to be like as iconic a photo as we get, right?
Sure. The thing to think about with we're pulling things off of raleighhistoric.org is that any of them that say they were taken by the Capital City Camera Club, part of our agreement for using their photos is that we always say where they came from. So that may not be conducive to putting on a little card. These are great photos, and I would love to use them, but we would need to be able to meet that part of our agreement for using their photos.
Okay. Well, I'll look and see what we have. Because I know we have some by them and we have some not by them.
Right.
Worst case scenario, I can go take some pictures. That's too big of a deal. Okay, so then that's going to be my to-do for the month. I'm going to try to design and post cards.
So how many of those pens do you want me to order? And what do you want on them?
All right, let's do some quick math, guys. We have 5 locations. Theoretically, that's what we're aiming for, 5. And we want it to last a week, but we also don't want to break the budget. How many do you think? Let's see. Calculator. I'm pulling out a calculator now.
Did they did that link? I didn't see it. Did it say in batches, so many prices in whatever category? Did it give us already limits on printing?
Let me go back.
It just tells you find your quantity price. So like you just drag this little dragger and it'll tell you like for 500 it's gonna be, I'm having trouble dragging, $106, right? And then you can drag it to 1,000 and it'll be $275. Jeez. So these are very inexpensive.
It looks like it drops in price from 31 cents each to 30 cents each at 660.
Yep, you're right. And then when you get up over
which is bizarre.
when you get over 900, it's 28 cents a piece.
Is there a chance we could get a cheaper price if we're tax exempt?
Except we're going to be ordering through the city and not tax exempt.
Oh,
The good thing to look at though. That was a good thought.
Mhm.
I mean, let's see. If we're doing 5 locations, let's assume I know that how big locations are, all right? But if we're doing 5 locations, what do you think they might need? Like 25 a day to get
Well,
out?
it seems to me the question would be to ask the businesses who have agreed to do this, how many do you think you'll need, rather than us guessing.
That makes sense. I'm just concerned because I know like we want to order them as soon as possible so that they get here very quickly. Let's see.
Well, do we have, I mean, so can we back up? I think one of the assignments was people were going to contact places.
But then I had sent out a list of like basically the benefits of what, like how it works and the benefits. But then during the month, I got an email for a request to write up a pitch, which I was too sick and never wrote up the pitch. So I got a document here. Some of you are in
We got it today.
Yes,
We got it just a few minutes ago.
which explains how it works. But no pitch specifically was written for it. And that was going to be my next thing, to talk about the pitch. I mean, I have for you guys how it works. Do you need me to specifically write up like a elevator pitch for you, or is it enough for you to know how it works and then just be able to kind of talk?
For my purposes with Greg and Parker, the pitch you gave me is fine.
Okay.
I may doll it up a little bit, and I'll literally take it to them in an envelope and say, I'll call you later, because it's fine. I altered it a little bit already to suit my needs for going to Parker and Hayden.
Yeah.
FYI, it says that they can ship in 2 days.
Oh, great. Okay, good. Well, then we have some time. We're not like desperately needing to order it right this second. Now, is it going to cost extra to ship it in 2 days? Like a significant amount extra like expediency cost? Okay, ships in.
Hold on. So let me, I'll look. Sorry, I was on the website and couldn't find my unmute. So y'all keep talking about that. I will look up these details while y'all are talking about pitches and stuff.
So I've got the how it works. Okay, so you guys are popping up in here. So, and in fact, let me change it. Because I had it for 2 weeks. Let me change it to a week.
My guess would be order 500, 100 for each location, and then we'll have leftovers. We have them there usable forever, unless there's some big price point that anybody thinks. And I'm not sure. I understand what Tanya said, but I think if we ask the merchant or people, what do you think you need, they're going to look at us and they're not going to understand. We have as good a guess as they have.
I agree. I feel like sending them 25 a day is probably fine. Because I don't know that every single person is going to want one, and it's COVID, so I don't know that they're getting slammed with business right now either. I would feel like 500 should be enough. And then maybe we get the 500, put them out there. I mean, if we run out, good, be like, oh, good, we ran out, guys. Sorry. It was supposed to go a week, but we didn't know it was going to be this popular. We'll do it again, at some point if it's that popular. So I feel like, honestly, 25 a day per location. So that's 5 locations. 25 a day is 125, and we're trying to do it for 7 days. That's a lot. Why don't we just do 500? I feel like that should be fine. And if we run out.
Yeah, I think that's a good round number, and it'll give us something we can gauge for next time.
Exactly.
If it's too much, too little.
Exactly. If we run out, then all we say is, sorry guys, we didn't realize it would be this popular. We're going to do it again. And then if we have too many left, well, we've got them for future events. So I think.
Did we already say what color?
Are we allowed to pick multiple colors, or do we only get to pick one?
Tanya's shaking her head.
Yeah, you get to pick one. Pick one.
Pick one color. All right. What do you guys think? We got some options here. Brand.
And there, yeah, you go through the.
So it looks like we have like a million colors. Okay, hold on. I think a solid color is probably good. I feel like blue, everyone has the dark blue. Like that's just super common and it's gonna get kind of forgotten. I kind of like the light blue.
Is there a color that is in the RHDC scheme and also in the city scheme? The only one I can think of is dark blue.
Let's see. RHDC scheme is what? We got the dark blue and then like the kind of grays around it.
How about that dark blue in the middle of the 4 squares or whatever it's supposed to be?
Yeah, that would be this dark blue and this silver trim, it looks like. Oh, in fact, that looks like our colors. There's the dark.
So do a screenshot of it and send it to me or something, because I'm trying to figure out how much the shipping is going to be.
Oh, gotcha. Are you in there right now?
Yeah, but I'm just making stuff up to get to the point where it'll tell me how much and how soon. I'm not actually ordering it because I don't have the payment card.
All right.
Did you recalculate the date, Heather, or have you said?
No, because I got questioned about the pins. Let's see the date. What do you guys think? Do you want to do it like March 1st to March 7th?
That would put this is the last meeting before the event happens.
Do you want to do it at March 7th to March 13th then?
I was having that same exact thought.
That's the thought. Do you want to do it the next week then, March 7th to the 13th?
That would assume that when we come back together next month, our ducks are in a row. We've got our restaurants lined up. We've got everything ordered and in, and maybe what we have left to do is stuff bags and take them out. So if we have a good way to stay in touch this month via email to say, I've got this restaurant on board, you know, and confirm and kind of move it along, then that's great. And if not, I think we probably need a bigger cushion.
Okay. I don't know if I want to do it the 14th through the 20th because St. Patrick's Day is in it. Or do you think that would be a good thing?
I don't know what difference that would make at all.
You don't think it'll like
This year.
Hmm?
I don't know what's going to make a difference this year.
I personally don't know anybody that does anything St. Patrick's Day. So,
Why?
but that's just me.
Why don't we?
I would actually be in favor of not doing it close to St. Patrick's Day. If there's a weekend in March, we could do it. That's not, because there could be a chance that, for example, if news breaks, oh, well, there's a bunch of the UK variant COVID or whatever, and the mayor has to like proactively curtail activities downtown ahead of St. Patrick's Day, we'd be out of luck.
You are right.
That's a good thought. We also might be viewed by the merchant as interfering with their limited business plan, whatever it is for St. Patrick's Day, because some of the bars.
So that would put it at what, the weekend of, oh wow.
Well, the week after that is the first week of spring,
Is that so? Oh,
the
that's
20th. is the
21st
start.
through 27th?
yeah. That's nice to get warm. People are going to be thinking about going out.
I think with
Yeah.
the fact that we've got to make the little pictures and the cards and make sure we have all that lined up, I think that extra cushion of going to then makes a lot of sense.
I agree, because going out and getting all those pictures and writing the cards and making cards and printing cards, that's going to be work.
Yeah.
Which I can do, but I'm doing it, after my full-time job. So it's, having time is good.
Okay, so cost-wise, if we do 3-day select instead of ground, our total for 500 Javelin pens would be $236.89.
Say it again, 200 and
$240.
okay. I feel like that's pretty good. And we're gonna aim for the 21st to the 27th. I think that really lines up well with what somewhat warmer weather, people wanting to get out and do things. Gaston's got a thought. I can't hear you. You're on mute.
21st, 21st to the 27th, right?
21st to the 27th.
Right?
Yes.
And the imprint you want is the website address, correct?
What do you guys think? Website?
Yeah.
Website.
Has our name in it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, if we're gonna, the website's rhdc.org. So if we've got enough room, could we fit Raleigh Historic Development? The C's Commission, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even I have trouble with the acronym. So if we have that up top, and then we have rhdc.org below, we get the website, the name, and technically we get the acronym in there as well.
Yeah.
All right, I'll look at that and see if we can do that and have it be readable.
If you can't order them anyway, because it's going to be on the card.
Right. Right, exactly. So we'll try for that, but if not, we'll make sure the card has that information on it. And I will definitely, like, what I'm going to try to do is create one card and send it out, and you guys can look at it as a template and kind of give feedback. When I
That
have
sounds great. Heather, if you don't mind sending that to the committee, just in an email when it's ready, and
yes,
just a day or two for people to provide any comments they have, and then y'all can execute it. So with 10 minutes left in the meeting, is everybody prepared to approach their restaurants, feeling good? We're all going to come back next month and knock it out.
And if it's okay with everybody, I'll approach. Basically, I have two people to approach with a whole pile of restaurants. So I'll find out and report back as soon as I find something from them, and it'll be quick, and then we can fill in the others as we need to, or
perfect.
decide.
Yes, and I can reach out to Novo and Royal Baking Company, which is the
Okay, hold off on NoFo. You're not contacting NoFo
not Novo,
unless we don't get enough of Landmark.
if we get enough. Right. Okay, you're right. Thank you for that reminder. I just saw my name beside it, and I was like, I'm doing Novo. You're right.
Big.
So I'm just doing Royal Baking Company for now, and then we'll see what Gaston might come back with more than enough. So,
So I have a question with Royal Baking Company.
mhm.
So in there, you've got Jasmine, you've got Lucky Tree, you've got Ben and Jerry's, and you've got the Brick House, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
So are you just going to you're going to approach Lucky Tree? Is that correct?
I was gonna approach because I know them.
Yeah, and that's fine. I just want that just popped in my head.
It'll be Lucky.
Okay.
Yeah, but that is a thought. I mean, if we need more, if we are having trouble, we could maybe get several in there to help out. I don't know. I know I'd rather get more locations. Just Lucky Tree. Forget everything I said. I'm thinking aloud. Just Lucky Tree is good. I feel like they're very active. They have people in there all the time still. So, all right, good. So I think we've got that. And everyone has the how it works. So that should explain everything about what we're doing. I might add some tweaks to it now that we've decided on the baseball cards and what prizes we're using. I'll add that in there. But the big thing we want from them is to hand out the things and like kind of be like, hey, you know, did you know we're in a historic building? And we're handing out these, you know, Raleigh history baseball cards or collectible cards or whatever we want to call them. And, you know, to hand the thing out. That's pretty much what we want. And then the other big thing we want from them is to be willing to talk about it on social media, right? We're going to promote them on social media, and we want them to promote the event on social media, the hunt, and say, hey, come check us out. We're in a historic building. You know, we're giving out these things for this week. You know, come be sure to get your collectibles and learn about Raleigh history or whatever. So our big asks are just that they hand stuff out and that they're willing to maybe mention us on social media. And I'll make an event.
Sounds
Sorry
great.
if I missed it. So are we not doing the gift card ask?
What do you guys think? Should we? Or is that too much?
I'd be fine myself passing on it. I just remember it was brought up.
It was, yes. Do you think that we should do that? Ask them how front. I wonder if that's too complicated now.
I would say it might be, and on top of that, given the city government and other governments are the ones that are imposing a lot of restrictions on business due to the pandemic, it might not be as well received to ask for handouts from the business.
Agreed. We will just ask them, you know, we want you to hand these things out. And in return, we're going to be promoting your business and how historic your business is. And it's kind of like free marketing for their business. This whole scavenger hunt is like a free marketing campaign that's managed by us. And all they have to do is give out the little goodies and mention it on social media because it's something that will help promote them as well. So that's honestly, I think that's simpler. That way they aren't asked to give any money or donations. We need nothing from them. We just want to do this to help draw attention to historic buildings and help promote.
So we delete paragraph 5.
I just I did. Yeah, I did delete it. It should be gone now.
Quick question. Do you care what color ink, black or blue?
Maybe blue, because we're blue.
I like a blue pen. It's evidence that it's really your signature.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, so I don't mean to cut off the conversation. If anybody else has very important questions on this that we need to settle, please bring them up. But we do have one more big thing we need to cover today, which I don't see in the agenda, but the annual retreat this year, there was a big focus on goals for the RHDC having a lot to do with community awareness. And the sort of number one thing we heard as an opportunity for outreach is the website. And we have recently received some reports from people trying to access rhdc.org that they can't. Depending on what browser you're using, they're not able to get in. Now, I still can. I'm using Google Chrome, but even amongst staff, we've had issues accessing it this week. So we need to discuss as a committee, as the Community Awareness Committee, what direction for the website we feel is best and make a recommendation at the business meeting to the full commission. And Tanya, jump in here. There's some immediate action that we might need to take to make sure that it's accessible in the meantime.
So I'm not sure that Nick was wanting a recommendation from the committee necessarily. That's what I was saying should happen, but he wanted everybody polled. So,
There was a mention of a patch.
With the okay, so it will cost. I already forgot.
$500.
$750. Up to $750 ish to put a patch on the current website that will give us a fix that will get the security fixed, and it won't be an upgrade, but it'll get us back on training wheels. And that he didn't get back with me on how long that would take.
I think we ought to recommend the patch be acquired just because rebuilding the website's going to take a long time. And
I agree. I personally do not believe it will be a waste of funds, no matter which direction you end up going with the website. I think getting it up and running now is important. So even if the new one, you go under the city or you switch from Drupal to WordPress or whatever, I think what's important is to have a functioning website that people can access. And then his estimate, and he is willing to come and talk with y'all, but his estimate to upgrade to the current version of Drupal was $5,000. And I didn't get a time frame, and that's not a lot of detail about. I think that would just simply be a migration of what we have and not be a redesign.
Correct. For 5,000, I can't imagine.
So I think that could happen. That discussion could happen later. Okay. Gaston has a hard stop. So I guess, do y'all want to recommend as a committee to let's patch it and then reassess?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That was unanimous. I saw lots of moving heads.
Let's just
Nodding
do it all
heads.
the formal way. Motion to recommend to the committee that the website be patched. And we can discuss further action with the full committee for next steps.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. So that means at the next business meeting, Heather, you can make that motion. You won't need a second because it's coming from committee, but you can make that motion to the commission, and we will put it up. It'll be on the agenda, not just under a committee report.
Okay.
FYI, it fits in nowhere, but on my Mac and Safari, it pops right up without a problem. The website.
At least somebody can. I've been
I got
afraid to
it
update
too.
Chrome.
I got it too. With the
Me,
same.
like instant, poof, up. Safari.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm on Chrome on my Mac. It pops up fine.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll stay in touch.
Thanks, everyone.
Hi, thank you.
Have a good week.